Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome to our 10:30 kids story time. I was thinking yesterday about what I wanted to talk to you about today, because yesterday I was out. I got to spend just a little bit of time working, tinkering, trying to finish a job. Did you get that? Finish a job. There are jobs around my house that are unfinished, that my wife says, when are you going to finish that? When are you going to do that? There's a joke that I've seen on Facebook a lot. It goes something along the lines of like this. You wives don't have to tell your husband, you don't have to remind your husbands about doing certain jobs. He knows. You don't have to remind him every 6 months about getting that job done. And see, the joke is, if you've got to remind him 6 months, he's not getting to it. Every 6 months, you got to mention it to him. And I've been thinking, probably there are a lot of guys during this lockdown when they had to stay at home and we couldn't go out and do all the things. There was probably a lot of men who jumped in there and finished a lot of little jobs that had been around their house, around their property, that were unfinished for a long time. Repairing fences and putting fence in, painting barns, or replacing old rotted boards on a barn, or replacing a broken window, and maybe fixing a part on a tractor or a lawnmower. And if you live in town, there's that broken hinge on a screen door, or some of those same things, getting a paintbrush and painting something that needed painted for a long time. And even as a young boy or girl, there are jobs that maybe your parents they expect you to finish. Maybe you're sitting in the living room and your mom says, "Did you finish cleaning your room?" And maybe you worked on it, but you got sidetracked and you carried some dirty clothes out to the washroom, and as you went through the living room, you saw something on TV you liked, and you sat down there and you forgot all about finishing cleaning your room. Or did you do all your homework? Did you finish your homework? Sometimes we don't like the word finish. We like to start things. We get excited about doing all that, but finishing it, that means I got to stay with it. I got to stay focused. I got to concentrate, and I got to keep on doing it even when I'm tired. I just got to say, nope, I got to do it. That's an important thing, to finish a job. If your parents give you chores, you got to stay at the chore. Whatever if they say, you sweep out the garage and that other little building over there before I get home from work. Do you wait till 10 minutes before your dad's supposed to show up from work, and then you get out there and you sweep feverishly? When I was a boy, I did that kind of thing. Sometimes. It's just better to finish the job. And so I've got a verse for you, talking about finishing things. This is a verse in Philippians 1. Philippians 1, verse 6. You remember, I've said, if you've been watching or if you've come to our church, I say this all the time. God's got something to say about everything. He's amazing. All we have to do, He does have something to say about everything. All we have to do is find it. It's in the book. And so here's one about finishing a job. Okay? Philippians 1 verse 6 says, being confident of this very thing. Okay? Being confident. I'm sure about this. I feel good about this. Being confident of this very thing, that he which hath begun a good work in you will perform it until the day of Jesus Christ. What's that verse talking about? It says, I am sure, I'm confident of this one thing. I know that God started to work in me, and He's going to keep on working it until the job's done. Until the day I get to go to heaven and be with Him, God's going to keep on working on me, knocking off the rough edges, getting sin out of my life, getting rid of bad habits, helping me to become better and better and better for Him. Oh, I'll never be perfect here, but He's never going to throw, in a sense, He's never going to throw the hammer and saw down that He's working on with me and say, that's it, I'm tired of working on this. Nope, that's not how God operates. Every day, day in and day out. Tomorrow, the next day, the next day, the next day. God's just going to keep on working on me. There's a little kid song kind of says something like that. He's still working on me to make me what I ought to be. It took him just a week to make the moon and the stars, the sun and the earth and Jupiter and Mars. How loving and patient he must be. He's still working on me. God will keep on working on you. He never does a halfway job. He works until the job is finished. So we need to be like him, work on jobs and get them all finished. And say, then you can put your pen down and say, I'm finished. I did my homework. It's complete. I am moving on from the 3rd grade to the 4th grade, or I'm moving on from the 6th grade to the 7th grade. Have a blessed day.